Good afternoon. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of today's Community Development and Regulatory Services agenda for today, which is July 25th. I've been joined by council members Cano, Quincy, Fry, and Reich, which is a quorum of our committee. There are a number of consent agenda items, including items 10 through 18. They include the regular liquor, business, and gambling licenses, some operating conditions for a number of businesses, as well as settlement conference recommendations. Item 16 is exclusive development rights on the Snelling Yards redevelopment and additional rental licensing conditions. Are there any items 1 through 18 that anyone would like to pull for discussion or comment? Seeing none, I'll move the consent agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item is approved. We'll then move on to item number 1, which is a bond issuance. Ms. Crowther, welcome.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the committee. This is a request for $29 million of multifamily housing entitlement bonds for the 1500 Nicollet Apartments project. The property is a 1.46 acre site redeveloped from existing surface parking and commercial space. There will be demolition of 4 properties, restaurants, and other businesses to make way for the new development. This is a planned redevelopment that will provide much-needed affordable housing. With the project will be 123 heated underground parking stalls, on-site management and maintenance, and 24-hour service. The unit mix is SROs, 1s, 2s, and 3-bedroom apartments. As a matter of fact, there are 95 2-bedroom apartments and 44 3-bedroom units in this building, which is really needed. The units will be constructed for persons with incomes at 60% of AMI. There's going to be 5,463 square feet for commercial, of commercial tenant in the property. The TDC of the property is $57,334,600, which includes TOD from Met Council and deed cleanup funds. You won't notice on the project data worksheet, but the funds have all been secured and are approved. So the project is ready to go. Right now, I am in the drafting session with the bonds. Our anticipated closing will be September. There's also a deferred developer fee that the developer is bringing to the table for the project. This is a FHA HUD-insured mortgage, which the city always likes to see on our bond deals. It's a form of credit enhancement that we like, and it secures the project. We will be closing in mid-September and start construction right away. Are there any questions?
Are there any questions for Ms. Crowther on item number 1? Seeing none, thank you for your report. We'll open up the public hearing on item number 1. Is there anyone here to speak to this issue? Anyone? Anyone? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. I'm going to move approval of this project. This is in my ward. I will note 44 3-bedrooms is probably more 3-bedrooms than have been built in the city all of last year, would be my guess, give or take. It's a lot, and there's many 2-bedrooms as well, which means it will really be family housing and workforce housing. So I'm really excited about it. And in addition, it really belongs in an area, commercial corridor of high density. Further comments or question on the chair's motion to approve? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item is approved. We'll move on to item number 2. Ms. Shaw. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the committee. You have before you a request to pass a resolution adopting, levying, and placing an assessment on 2852 Johnson Street Northeast. The assessment in the amount of $95,000 is a request from the property owner, the Coffee Shop Northeast, through the Property Assessed Clean Energy Program. The energy improvements include the addition of a rooftop solar array, roof reinforcements, and additional insulation. The assessment will be paid in semi-annual increments over 10 years, starting in 2018. And let me know if you have any questions about the project.
Are there any questions for Ms. Shaw on item number 2? Seeing none, thank you for your report. We'll open the public hearing on item number 2, which is a PACE Energy financing deal at a coffee shop. I should get the name right. The Coffee Shop Northeast. Is there anyone here to speak to this issue? Is anyone here from the coffee shop? No. Okay. Anyone? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Councilmember Reich.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I happily move this item.
Item number 2 has been moved. Further comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item is approved. We'll move on to item number 3.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, both this item and the land sale of 2935 Queen Avenue North, items 3 and 4, are related to the Minneapolis Homes Development Assistance Program land sale, item number 5. Staff presented at the July 11th, 2017 CDRS committee meeting regarding the Minneapolis Homes Development Assistance Program land sales. Testimony was received from a neighboring property owner regarding the land sale of 3006 Russell Avenue North, which was proposed for sale to Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity in the original Minneapolis Homes Development Assistance land sale report. 3006 Russell was a parcel that was being acquired from Hennepin County. Due to testimony, staff have canceled the acquisition. Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation additionally contacted staff after the July 11th public hearing and expressed that 2935 Queen Avenue North, which was originally proposed for sale to Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation, should be sold to the same entity as 2937 Queen Avenue North, which was proposed for sale to Habitat. Staff replaced the proposed sale to Habitat for Humanity of 3006 Russell Avenue North, the one that we received testimony about, with 2935 Queen Avenue North in accordance with Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation's recommendation. Staff afforded Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation the opportunity to select a replacement parcel for 2935 Queen Avenue North from the list of parcels originally advertised in the Minneapolis Homes Development Assistance RFP. At 3431 Colfax Avenue North, which is the replacement property for 2935 Queen Avenue North, Gimmick proposes to build a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,728 square foot home with a 2-car garage that is universally designed. I can take any questions at this time.
Are there any questions for Ms. O'Brien on items number 3 and 4? Should we take that
Sure,
together?
absolutely.
Are there any questions for staff on items 3 and 4? Seeing none, this is a public hearing on items number 3 and 4, which is a land sale at 3431 Colfax Avenue North and a land sale at 2935 Queen Avenue North. Is there anyone here to speak to these issues? Anyone? Anyone? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Councilmember Quincy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move approval of both items 3 and 4.
Further comments and questions on the motion to approve? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those items are approved. We'll move on then to item number 5. I wonder if you could give the reports on all of the land sales, and then we can see if anyone's here on any of them.
Absolutely. Madam Chair, members of the committee, I'm going to begin my presentation about the Minneapolis Homes Development Assistance land sales with a reminder about the February 10th, 2017 City Council action, which adopted the Development Assistance Program. There were 3 programmatic goals that were established: preserving affordable homeownership opportunities throughout Minneapolis, encouraging new housing development on city-owned vacant lots, and improving equitable outcomes in construction, contracting, and homeownership. Through that action, we established the Development Assistance Program, which provides project gap assistance for the difference between a project's cost and its appraised value upon completion, not to exceed $70,000. Provides $5,000 of homebuyer down payment assistance that's due on sale. The program is designed to be available citywide. However, lots in Northeast and South Minneapolis were restricted so that they must be sold through a long-term affordable home sale model. And we established that we wanted to target households at or below 80% of area median income, but provide flexibility in North Minneapolis to go up to 115% of area median income. Staff recommends sale and funding awards as outlined in the report that we're presenting today, noting that sale of 2 lots and funding awards were approved at the July 21st, 2017 City Council meeting. The RFP was implemented according to council direction that was established on February 10th and meets the goals that were established by council at that time. The remaining 21 lots sales that are included in the report today are located in North Minneapolis in areas that were the most impacted by foreclosure and the 2011 Minneapolis tornado. And additional delays in approval could put the leveraged fundings that we've secured at risk. Staff additionally recommend a directive to research and evaluate affordability programs for us to incorporate into the development assistance program. The first goal that was established by council was preserving affordable homeownership opportunities throughout Minneapolis. The new construction opportunities that we're creating through this program are the most affordable opportunities to own a new construction home in the city of Minneapolis. The table that's reflected on the left shows the sale prices, the average sale prices of new construction homes that were sold in the city of Minneapolis from 2014 through the first quarter of 2017. The average home sale price throughout our city was $582,000. The average sale price for homes that are proposed in round one of the Minneapolis Homes Development Assistance Program is $217,500. A majority of several of the developers that are recommended for funding have affordability assistance of their own that they're leveraging in order to help make those homes accessible to homebuyers. And then in addition to that, there are non-city programs that provide down payment assistance ranging anywhere from $8,000 to $22,000 that can help to make the homes even more affordable. The Green Homes North program also had a 115% AMI income limit, and the average household income of the people who actually purchased the homes through the program was $48,700, which is 56% of area median income. 61% of the households that purchased Green Homes North homes were households of color, and the average household size was 3. The largest household size we served was actually a 9-person household. This program is closely modeled after Green Homes North, and so we expect that we'll have a similar range of income served and household types served through the program. A second goal that was established was encouraging new housing development on city-owned vacant lots. At the time, in February 10th, we projected that we could serve between 13 and 25 households with our development assistance program. I'm coming to you today to request approval for a total of 25 units, which is the maximum number that we thought would be possible through the program. The third goal was to improve equitable outcomes in construction, contracting, and homeownership. 4 of the 12 developers that are recommended for funding have never applied to City of Minneapolis funding programs before. We have a developer who is both a woman and minority-owned business, 2 developers that are minority-owned businesses, and then 5 developers that are nonprofits that are participating in the program. And additionally, 3 developers have formed partnerships with workforce development groups that are providing training opportunities to low-income individuals. We're also looking at what is being built and trying to improve opportunities for households to age in place. To that end, there are 10 units that are recommended that are universally designed, and 2 units that are recommended that are visitable, which means that they're established with a no-step entry. They have an ADA compliant bathroom on the first floor, and they have doorways that meet ADA guidelines. All of the units are Energy Star certified, and we additionally included criteria to encourage additional green improvements on all of the homes. And then finally, we also included criteria where we were rewarding developers for targeting households at 80% of area median income or below, and also rewarding developers for having a robust affirmative marketing plan to reach out to households of color and help us with reducing racial disparities in homeownership. The tornado and foreclosure impact that these homes are helping to address is significant. 21 of the 21 lots that are in North Minneapolis are a blighting influence in North Minneapolis. 7 of the 21 lots are located directly in the path of the 2011 tornado, and this area is still recovering from the effects of high foreclosure rates from 2008 through 2014. And then finally, If the council decides to move forward with approval today, then we project that we'll be able to move forward with getting all of these homes started this fall. A concern if council approval does not occur is that we may become out of compliance with leveraged funds that we've secured. We've secured $800,000 out of the $1.5 million that we're awarding today from outside sources, from Minnesota Housing and Hennepin County HRA. If there is a need to go back or redesign, then it could impact our ability to start this fall, which may put that funding at risk. I'll take any questions at this time.
Are there any questions for staff on item 5? Are there any questions for staff? Okay, so this is a public hearing on a number of land sales. Why don't I read them all out loud, and then if you're here to speak to any of these land sales or issues, then you can line up to speak at the podium. So this would be a land sale at 1218 Irving Avenue North to A Vision, 1203 Irving Avenue North, and 1222 James Avenue North to Build Wealth MN, 1219 Irving Avenue North to John Ash and Construction Basics Joint Venture. Item 4 is 3001 Queen Avenue North to Gimmick. Item 5 is 2937 Queen Avenue North and 3015 Thomas Avenue North and 2954 Morgan Avenue North to Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity, 3326 Lindale Avenue North and 3229 4th Street North to Housing Innovation Finance Fund, 2915 Sheridan Avenue North and 3850 DuPont Avenue North to Ibiza LLC, 40001 Colfax Avenue North to Jenny Investments, 1519 Thomas Avenue North and 1617 Thomas Avenue North to Kayak Properties, 4123 Colfax Avenue North to PRG, and lastly, 4646 Bryant Avenue North to Eastore Masters LLC. So this is a public hearing on those land sales, as well as items 2, 3, and 4, which is authorizing the related agreements with selected developers, approving the Homes Development Assistance Program Manual, and authorizing modifications, and directing staff to research affordability models and build capacity of developers to participate. Is there anyone here to speak to this issue? Is there anyone who's buying a house who's here today? If you are, okay, let's try this one more time. If you're here because you're buying one of these properties, raise your hand. Would any of you like to speak? Okay. Anyone? We'll give you one more chance. Anyone? Okay, great.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, my name is Chad Dittman. I'm the Project Systems Supervisor at Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity. It's a pleasure to be here doing business with you as we continue our work to construct new affordable housing in North Minneapolis. So we appreciate your support in these efforts.
Thank you
Happy
for
to take
being
any
here.
questions.
Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you for being here today. Is there anyone else who wants to speak up? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. Councilmember Quincy.
Thanks very much, Madam Chair. I would, first of all, love to move approval of all of the land sales identified here on item number 5, 1 through 11. And I'd also like to, if I could, speak to a staff direction. One of the staff directions on item number 4 there is directing staff to research affordability models and build capacity of developers to participate. And I'd like to add an additional staff direction to take a little bit deeper look to make sure that what we're talking about when we're providing an additional subsidy through the Development Assistance Program, that each project funded is eligible for $5,000 of down payment assistance for a homeowner at 80% of area median income or below. So I'd just like to direct staff to modify the Development Assistance Program to reflect that, if I could. So with that, it's the motion to approve all the land sales and the additional staff direction in addition to the 2, 3, and 4.
Okay, so the main motion is in front of us along with Councilmember Quincy's staff direction. I just want to note that Councilmember Yang has done a lot of work on this from the council's point of view. He's been the council lead. He's here today. I'm just going to invite him to say a few words if he'd like to.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have to tell you, I'm really excited about this, especially, when we found money in the budget to allocate for a pilot project, and that, our guess was that we would build anywhere from 13 to 25 with regards to the developer assistance piece, and we're doing 25. And so that's huge. In North Minneapolis, one part of which I represent, we have a lot of vacant lots, and the fact that we're tackling this and that we're doing what we're doing, really is important. But within that context, I feel like the stuff that we're doing actually is mattering with regards to the market and how it has improved. And I think we will get to a point where we may not have a need for a subsidy, and that the market will kind of take care of itself. And maybe that's several years down the road. Maybe it's just within the next year or two. But I mean, that's just exciting to see. And so I think, as a city, we can take credit for that. That we caused some parts of that to happen quicker. And so, to my colleagues, thank you. To everybody else, specifically staff, thank you for just doing the wonderful work. And, we have other things that we need to focus on as well, because this is one aspect of it. But, the other two aspects, one is the long-term affordability piece, but the other is just this piece about, encouraging just individuals to build on empty lots on the north side, where, we are providing $20,000 as an incentive. And so, just those sorts of things are things that are good for our city and good for North Minneapolis. And so seeing this, I'm just really proud and excited about the work that we've done, and that, the city has made quite an investment. And, we need to continue to do that. But for the good of North Minneapolis, we got to fill these empty lots up with homes, and that's going to bring better neighborhoods to North Minneapolis. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for being here today. Are there further comments or questions on item number 5? Seeing none, on Councilmember Quincy's motion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item is approved, and we will then move on to item number 6. Ms. Roberts, welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will present for the public hearing for Tavern 333. The intent or the purpose of the public hearing is that this business is hoping to enhance their business and add class of entertainment that would allow for live music, singing, without limitation of musician, and dancing and disc jockeys for live entertainment for special events, interior and exterior. Tavern 333 is located at 333 7th Street South. The application for this upgrade has been approved and reviewed by staff, and a public hearing notice is required because of the enhancement. So 194 notices were mailed to residents and property owners within 400 feet of the property. We received one response in support, and we are recommending approval of this application.
Are there any questions for Ms. Roberts on item number 6? Seeing none, we'll open the public hearing on item number 6, which is an application for Tavern 333 for a license upgrade. Is there anyone here to speak to this issue? Please step forward.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the committee. I'm Carolyn Butterfield. I'm actually the owner. And I'm excited because we just took over this restaurant in November. And we're kind of changing it up, making sure it fits more of the market, the business crowd, and the condo owners that surround that area. And so we're staying open later and changing up our menu to be a little bit more casual and friendly. And so this is kind of the next step, is to bring in the weekend events and to have a place to bring in more events into the downtown area, smaller events rather than the larger hotels that can support the really large events.
Perhaps this is in my ward and I know where it is, but I know a lot of people don't. Maybe you could just tell everybody where this is located, like a little advertisement.
Yeah, a little advertisement. So we're actually located about 4 blocks from the US Bank Stadium. It's a Class A office tower, and it has a huge green space that is adjacent to the city or the county court building. And so the 2 green spaces butt up, and we've got a great building owner that we have been working with, and they're asking us to do more live entertainment for happy hours and things. So yeah, that's where we are, and it's in the main floor of that office tower. So
Great. Well, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here to speak to this issue? Anyone? Anyone? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and move approval. Further comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item is approved. We'll move on to item number 7. Ms. Roberts.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The item number 7 is a public hearing for a new motel or hotel downtown, Lumen Hotel Minneapolis. It's located at 219 4th Street South, and they intend to operate with on-sale liquor license, Sunday sales Class B, which allows for entertainment that includes live music, singing, no limitation on musicians and performers, amplification, and dancing of patrons. This application has been reviewed for minimum standards by staff, and which include our staff and the police department. And because it's a brand-new business there, a public hearing is required. And 85 notices were mailed out to residents and property owners within 400 feet of the premises. We've received 1 response in support. We are making recommendation to approve this application.
Are there any questions for Ms. Roberts on item number 7? Seeing none, we'll open the public hearing on item number 7, which is M Lounge Hotel, just around the corner from City Hall. It's a new business license. Is there anyone here to speak to this issue? Is there anyone here from the M Lounge? They've missed out on their opportunity, and they're right around the corner from us where 4,000 people work. That's unfortunate. Hopefully, people will get an opportunity to go there. It's literally next door. Further comments or questions? I'll move approval. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item is approved. On to item number 8, Ms. Roberts.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The item number 8 is an application for Pimento Jamaican Kitchen to do an expansion for a outdoor seating for 16 seats. The business is currently operating with an on-sale wine strong beer license. They are just looking to add this enhancement to their business. The application for that seating has been reviewed by staff, and their operations have been considered. And a public hearing, because it's an enhancement of their business, is required. Public hearing notices were mailed to residents within 300 feet of that business. We've received 3 responses, 2 in support, 1 with concerns about amplified music. And in that review that our staff did, they ensured that there would not be amplified music on that 16-seat outdoor seating, so that issue should be addressed through the application review. Staff is making a recommendation to approve this expansion.
Are there any questions for Ms. Roberts on item number 8? Seeing none, we'll open the public hearing on item number 8, which is Pimento Jamaican Kitchen, expansion of premise. Is there anyone here to speak to this issue? Great. Happy to have you. Please come forward, state your name and address for the record.
Happy to be here. I am Tommy Beavis of 53 Oliver Avenue South. I thought Key West was the next closest place to find such a paradise. That was one of the remarks made by one of our guests just last week, Chris. You see, 11 years and 1 day ago, when I moved to Minneapolis to work as a Cargill executive from Washington, D.C., where I was working for the administration at the time, I never thought that I'd have been here as long. But again, I never thought I'd have been starting a business with one of my neighbors right in the heart of Bryn Mawr, where I'd go home every day from work, fire up the grill, throw on my grandmother's Jamaican jerk chicken, and the entire Bryn Mawr neighborhood would come out and hang out in the backyard. Lo and behold, we started a business, decided to test it out at the Bryn Mawr garage sale, and then even went a bit further at the Pride Festival in Uptown Art Fair, just to see how it would work out. Fast forward a year later, we were picked up by a reality show on Food Network, Food Court Wars. We won that and got a space free for the year. And then we even then further grew. And this was like a community project where we had MCCD, MEDA, and the city of Minneapolis providing funding for our growth. And now we've grown and opened up our flagship location on Each Street on Nicollet Avenue. It was actually listed as best new restaurant in Minneapolis last year, and we continue to attract the Travel Channel and the Food Network to the area. We have another show. We're coming out on another show next month, actually. the thing about Pimento is we're more than a restaurant. It's a community space where you have men and women in blue are having lunch next to somebody from Doomtree, a local hip hop group, or Rohan Marley, literally, or Dave Chappelle right now. But then you have a suburban mom with her children from Burnsville hanging out there as well, because it's definitely a community space. And we do definitely believe in enriching our communities as well. And that's why 100% of our service items are either recyclable or compostable. And 10% of our food truck sales over the past 3 years have gone back to providing thousands of meals to our hungry neighbors. Additionally, we've taken what we've learned through working with the city in creating a business, and now are serving on the city's small business innovation team to figure out how we can better help other businesses of color figure out how to grow as rapidly as we have. But you see, my grandmother taught me to treat people with dignity, and one of the beauties about it is we do that not only with our guests, but with also our employees, and that's why even our dishwasher starts at $12 an hour. Our employees, our salaried employees, receive the comparable benefits to those at Target or General Mills or even Cargill, such as 2 weeks paid vacation to start, unlimited sick time, volunteer time off, paid volunteer time off, even free cell phones. And then in terms of insurance coverage, full health coverage, dental, vision, short-term disability, you name it. So we're definitely trying to grow together. And we currently have 25 employees, and our goal to expand over the next phase to even double that, if not triple over the next year or two. Our goal is to grow into becoming the next great global Minnesota company, and we're really hoping that with this expansion, we can do just that. Naturally, we share the concerns of our neighbors as it relates to the amplified music, and that's why we work with staff to ensure that we will continue using ambient music, which is what we want, just a simple Bluetooth portable device to provide ambient music so you can still enjoy your jerk chicken and conversation at the same time. Local food critic Jason DeRusha said, if Bob Marley built a Chipotle, it would be Pimento. And I say, don't take our word for it. We invite you to come home to Pimento, get some good Jamaican jerk chicken, join the Pimento movement, and I hope you'll join us in supporting this expansion as we again build the next great Minnesota company. Thank you.
It's just great you came and did that. And what we're trying to get people to do is come talk about their business. So
Wonderful.
people can check it out. I wish you were operating your second operation in Bryn Mawr.
I know, right?
You know,
We tried.
yeah. Well, we're happy to have you in Bryn Mawr. As you know, that's also my home neighborhood. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you very much for your testimony
Thank you
and
for
for
having me.
everything you're doing. Do you want to introduce your team? You have a pretty
Oh,
big
of course.
team here.
We have my business partner there, Yoni, one of our employees there, Frankie, and there goes our other employees outside waving. They're on Jamaican time, of course. But thank you so much for having us. It was certainly an honor.
Thank you very much. We'll close the public hearing. Councilmember Quincy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's a pleasure. I get to move this item forward, but I'd like to move this with the intent of having more than just Jamaican jerk chicken, but I certainly want to try it. So I'd like to move this item forward for approval.
Approval has been moved for the expansion of premise for Pimento. Is there any further comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? That item is approved. Thank you so much for being here today and your enthusiasm. Look at that.
It was just for 16-cent patio.
I know, it's great. It's just awesome. Okay, we'll move on to item number 9, Great Northern Smokehouse. Ms. Roberts.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Cheers like that remind me why I love my job so much. So this is pretty easy. This public hearing, though, that we're talking about now is for Great Northern Smokehouse located at 701 West Lake Street. You may know this location as the location where Falafel King was located at Lake and Lindale. The reason for this public hearing is this new business is hoping to operate with an upgrade of entertainment that Falafel House had, and they would like to operate a full-service restaurant with full menu, an outdoor cafe to include C2 entertainment, which is amplified musicians of a limited amount, but the majority of their entertainment will be background and pre-recorded music. So as I said, they are going to be operating in a full-service restaurant, just enhancing the level of entertainment, so then a public hearing is required. Those public hearing notices were mailed out to residents and property owners within 600 feet of this business. We received 2 responses in support. Staff did do their review of the application. They meet minimum standards, and we're making a recommendation to approve the license.
Are there any questions for Ms. Roberts on item number 9? Seeing none, we'll open the public hearing on a new business license for Great Northern Smokehouse. Who's here to speak for anyone? Is there anyone here from Great Northern Smokehouse? Come on up. I know you can't beat the last one, but tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
I'm Michael Veazey. I'm the owner of Great Northern Smokehouse. I'm also the owner of the building, the old Falafel King,
All
as
right.
everyone so knows it as. I've owned it for 2 years, tried to find some other local businesses to lease out the space, and then kind of just came to the fact or the conclusion that I love food and I love business and I love real estate. So I actually was convincing somebody else to lease the space, and I went, what am I doing giving up this space to somebody else? So we're really excited to be bringing in sort of a backyard barbecue kind of style. Lots of fresh veggies along with, smoked meat is great, but veggies and salads and things to go along with it are just important. And more importantly, we're trying to revitalize that corner and really put a cornerstone business into what I believe is one of the more thriving and continuing to growing neighborhoods in the city. So,
Well, thank you very much for being here and for opening this business.
yes.
Is there anyone else here to speak to this issue? Anyone? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Councilmember Fry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move approval.
Approval has been moved for a new business license for the Great Northern Smokehouse. Is there any further comment or question? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item is approved. We'll move on to our last item, which is Councilmember Reich's and my temporary alcohol license for events ordinance. Ms. Roberts.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The amendments before you today are a result of city staff, policymakers, and our business advisory group working together to get to the answer of yes for some regulatory barriers in licensing of events that include alcohol. There are human stories that may come out during the public hearing that demonstrate the need and the impetus for these amendments. However, as staff, I'll go with the perspective of the amendments before you demonstrate our continuous commitment to right-sizing regulation, to making business made simple in the city of Minneapolis, and making sure our customers are well served by our work. The amendments before you have passed will accomplish 3 primary things. 1, it will allow breweries, distilleries, and tap rooms to contract with liquor caterers to provide alcohol services outside of what they produce for private events. It will also allow liquor caterers to provide services to the public under limited opportunities to allow for art galleries to provide those services. And 3, it will remove the requirement for temporary alcohol licenses to go through the council process to be approved. City staff and policymakers have had 2 study sessions and policy discussions at the Business Advisory Group. They've conducted industry meetings with liquor caterers as part of our engagement process for the amendment. We found consensus whenever possible, but I want to represent there was an interest of introducing policy that would allow alcohol to be available to, let's say, art galleries just to provide alcohol without a license at all. And there is a constraint that we have of a state statute that requires a license or some type of permit. So the amendments before you are as liberal as we can be to allow for these improvements to be made. Notices were sent to all alcohol establishments, neighborhood associations, and business associations on July 25th. We've received 1 comment in favor, and I encourage the recommendation of these amendments. I'm available for questions.
Are there questions for Ms. Roberts on item number 10? I will just note, as the lead author with Councilmember Reich, I wish this went further. I actually think it would be better to just legalize what's already happening, where people are simply giving people a glass of wine or a beer when they come into an art gallery without the concern or risk of being busted by the liquor patrol police, which is how they view it. And I am going to introduce, along with Councilmember Reich, he doesn't know this yet, an effort to have us put on our state legislative agenda the ability to make that change. I think it's just absolutely ridiculous that you can go to a really great art event, first Thursday, second Sundays, Art a Whirl as an example, and you walk into a gallery and they hand you whatever you want, including potentially a glass of boxed wine or a beer, and that's illegal. So that means lots of people are doing something they're not supposed to do, and it makes absolutely no sense to me. So I understand we can't do anything about it, but I think we should be able to relax the rules in some way for these galleries who are really a thriving part of our small business economy. I understand we can't do it now. I'm a little frustrated. This came to me from my friends at Lakes and Legends who wanted to host weddings at their beautiful space, and they couldn't have a wedding with a toast of champagne. You might hear from them today about that. I think it's a good change, but I don't think it goes far enough, and so I don't consider it a major victory, but it is relaxing the regulations to provide for more entertainment, more spaces in a positive way, and so I support the staff recommendation and work on it. So we're going to open the public hearing on item number 10, which is temporary alcohol license for events ordinance. I have two people who are signed up to speak, the good folks at Chow Girls Catering and the good folks at Lakes and Legends. So come on up in any order you'd like, or if you haven't signed up in advance, I'd invite you to come up and speak as well. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Saul Huddleston, and I'm the bar manager for Chow Girls Killer Catering, located at 336 Hoover Street Northeast. And we're in support of all of these changes. Not only to serve the public on a limited basis for open houses or gallery opens are things that we're generally interested in addition to, I think you're right on the money, for all of the brewery culture and distillery culture that we have out here, to be able to allow them to close their doors and have weddings so they can also serve beer, wine, and liquor, where pretty much I think that's stopping them from having the ability to really book out their private spaces in the way that they should. And in addition, I think your proposed change too of allowing the gallery owner to serve, it really doesn't hurt us at all. And I think that we would be all for those changes in general. So thank you.
Thank you for being here. You guys are great caterers.
Thank you.
Really great.
Great.
Derek? Welcome.
Thank
This
you.
was all your
Good
idea.
Yeah, Madam Chair and members of the committee. It was interesting. Our business is Lakes and Legends Brewing Company. We're at 1368 LaSalle, right in the heart of Loring Park, and we're 2 blocks off of Loring Park and 2 blocks away from the convention center, and so it gives us a unique opportunity to host a lot of private events. There was actually a time where we thought that we could legally serve wine and alcohol with the approved licensed catering company. It was actually Chow Girls who tipped us off that we in fact could not. To kind of put some scale to it, at that time we had 12 weddings and corporate events booked already that we had taken deposits for. We had to notify them that we could not legally serve wine and alcohol or liquor, and we had half of them cancel, and so we refunded the deposits, and then the other half we just gave them a discount because we felt that wasn't fair, because it was part of our pitch, for us to host a private event. What's interesting about owning a tap room in a brewery is the vast majority of people who are coming to us to host these private events are beer enthusiasts. That's why they're targeting a brewery to host their wedding or corporate event. And so really the wine and the liquor is to kind of supplement or to provide an option. It's not front and center. It's usually off to the side, literally. Or the champagne toast is a great example. That's what the bride and groom they'd like to follow that tradition and be able to do it. We feel comfortable as a tap room. We've got liquor liability insurance, and then all of our staff takes ongoing training to properly and safely serve alcohol in their own space. And so we feel like our venue is a great fit to be able to offer the wine and liquor. But it is a barrier right now, and we're constantly giving tours to folks who come through, and it's usually kind of after the meeting or after the tour that someone in their party says, well, what about wine or champagne? Then they come back and they say, is this an option? Right now we say no, but hopefully maybe in the future it will be. And so we are losing some private events that we'd love to be able to gain. Even right now with the Super Bowl coming, we signed on as a local host venue. And that's a barrier right now as well. We've given a lot of tours to corporations that would love to host their event in our space, but that no wine and no liquor has been a barrier. And so we've lost some opportunities, I feel. And we've got a couple hanging on, and I'd love to give them the update. That's something we can do for them in February. So appreciate any and all support in these efforts. So thanks for your time.
Thank you for your testimony.
Yep.
Is there anyone else here who would like to speak to this issue? Please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
Hello, my name is Justin Grays from Illusion Theater on 6th and Hennepin here in Minneapolis. My boss sent me here to observe this. He wanted me to say that this would be useful for the sale of hard liquor for any special events that we have. Occasionally we have hosted a wedding or the like, or if we want to do a private event for one of our renters. So this would make it easier for us to be able to accommodate our guests' needs. So we are in favor of this.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here who'd like to speak to this issue? Anyone? Anyone? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Councilmember Reich.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I concur. We do need to do a full court press at the legislature to further do what I think is agreed upon as common sense. This isn't just to stimulate commerce. This is actually where commerce and community building come together in a very obvious way. We should be supporting that, not inhibiting it. So appreciate your work on this. And I move it forward.
Councilmember Reich's motion to approve. Further comments or questions? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item is approved. Seeing no further business before us, we are adjourned.